So let's talk about the JSP, right? So make sure you can hear. Okay. So again, if you use IntelliJ IDE, that's why I love it. It's very simple to use. So what we try to do, we want to create a simple like hello world. Submit your name is world. Okay. Or right, we try to create something like that. Yeah. Have to end presentation because okay. Now we try to create something like this. How do we do that? With JSP, right? But again, this is just simple to show you server side because in the real situation, you don't want to do this with JSP. You just want to do JavaScript. It's fast, easy, light. This is just show you how you talk to a server, right? So first, you need to run your server. There are many server, Java server. So I picked the Apache Tomcat server. You can just go download from there. Okay. So let's download the server. This is just show the document. Download Tomcat. So you have Tomcat 8, Tomcat 9. You can get the latest version here. Can download the deploy zip if you use Windows, Unix, right, tar, and install that. Okay. When you install that, I think it's just extract and yeah, install and the location of it's going to be under C. If you use PC, right, Windows, C like program files and where Tomcat programs file has to be depend on 64 bits or 32 bits, right? MT Apache is Apache, so it could be the other one. Pretty much, you can when you create a new project, you have to link to this. Let me see the location from like when you create a new project. So we gotta use IDE IntelliJ, right? New project. You gotta pick like let's go to a basic one first, no framework. So J2 Java Enterprise, that's web. This is where you link to it. Like I use Tomcat like 8. Right. So you can always put like Tomcat server. There are many server to run, like web application, right? Tomcat. And you just need to go to the location where your Tomcat is located, right? So that's why when you install, you pretty much just need to know location. It should be under Apache right there. And actually, I put it under C. Yeah. So when I install, I pick to put under C, right? So that's pretty much right. You pick Apache and then you just type the name. So Tomcat Apache bin or Apache, I think. Yeah. Like now, I already have it in store, right? Home. Actually, you want to set home. Okay. hit OK, and then you have this, right? And you select that. Next, maybe you want to use template, right? Like you could create from template. Hello, JSP. All right, so if you have template, it's pretty much just create index.jsp for you already, right? If you look at this, this is idea project folder, source for your Java code. This is for web, and this is like your JDK and Tomcat, right? That we link. Like they have web configuration file. When you do that, it's just config. Okay. So you probably need to know all HTML code, basic HTML code first. Like it's very simple. I say you just put the code between body elements or body tag, right? So you technically run this. It's going to load into the server. This is like basic HTML. You just host your page on the server Tomcat as a web server page. And when you run, it's technically just going to open a browser for you and show the word hello world right there, right? Its default is localhost. That means your location, like your server locally that you write the code.
So this is the development phase, right? So we're just running from the IDE.
Right.
So if you want to run it without IDE, you just make a Java and click on it, right?
So the question is, if I don't use IntelliJ to do this, how do I do it? That's the question that I have.
So it's like I already have this. I want to run it without using IDE. So I just want to make a program that's run as I
Oh, how to deploy it?
Yeah.
The question, how do I deploy this project? Okay. How do you deploy it? So we have built, we have wall file. So you have to create wall file. Okay. Wall file is just like a web archive, like jar file, like zip file. And then you're gonna upload wall file to the Tomcat server interface. Like, all right, so we have hello world. Okay. Now to build, let's see if we have the models to. There are many ways they can have and build. That's another way to build. Okay, let's talk about just wall file first. All right, so let me check the menu, IntelliJ to create wall file, right? You can deploy web application. Okay, create new project. Okay, it's pretty much a step out, step down. Wall file right there, right? Building the wall file. Okay, like I have hello world, just like that already, right? Open file project structure and go to artifacts. Okay, add a new artifact. Right. All right. File, project structure, artifacts. New artifact. So we want the war, right? So we get pick that one, right? Explode. Okay. So the application explode. And the name, you can just make the name like hello world deployment. Okay, make sure we get everything and modify the output directly to the out location. So pretty much it's going to create a WAR file into that directory. Okay. Now you probably want to find your host and upload your WAR file. And your host has to be pretty much supporting the WAR file. So let me build a WAR file first. Let's say war. Okay. Out. That's fine. I'll just leave it like that. Our artifacts. Now I just hit OK. That's just configuration. We have to come to build and go to build artifacts. And this is the one that we set. Build. It's going to build, right? Now let's go to see if it's created. Out artifacts web war. Let's see. Go to build, rebuild project. So it's doing it at the bottom here. Okay. Hello JSP out artifacts web war exploded. Now we create a WAR file by either pressing the make project. Okay, let's say make project. Edit configuration in the new dialog, navigate to deployment and remove the exploded artifact by pressing edit configuration. And it said we should remove something. Deployment, remove the exposed artifacts, right? Okay, remove it. Now we add a new war artifacts by pressing the plus button. and selecting artifact in the pop-up, selecting deployment example war. Now on every build, the war file will be generated. Let's see. So artifacts, and I call hello world, right? Okay, so it's pretty much just set that to build. Okay, hit OK. Now let's try again. Build artifacts. Okay, now it should build, right? Now every build, the war file will be generated. So it's just put it in the build like that, right? Under build artifacts, right? Now, if you want it to be war, right, we want to zip it like that. So I have to set .war. I wonder it's not. Let me do one more time. Let me go and check. Yeah, we actually try to find .war. Okay. So after we get the war, then we can deploy the war. Rebuild project.
I think you put semicolon, colon instead of putting dot.
It's put colon, right? Let me see the configuration one more time. File, project structure. We want this. Oh, I think we have to set something here, right? Output layout. That is different. See that? We didn't set that. There you go, right? I need to specify output, right? So hello world.war. That's what we want, right? Okay. Apply. Okay. Now let's rebuild artifacts. So what we gotta do? Let's do build artifacts, right? Let me do clean. Build project. File, project structure, war. So let's try again. Build. We can do action too. So I'm going to clean. Clean supposed to remove everything. Tomcat required to support so that's why we got some errors here, right? EJB deployment. We got errors when we actually changed this, huh? See, because we have an error, that's why it's not creating it. So it asks us to remove this and put a new one, which is that war. That's why we get an error. So that probably that file is not supporting here. So we have to verify the configuration again. Maybe we can do that instead of the EE one on the file structure. We put this back first. Like this one should be fine. This is pretty much just like configuration to deploy that way, right? Like if you don't want to deploy that way, we can do this. So let's try again. Web application archive for web war explode, maybe. Yeah, it looks like this is it, right? We were picking the different one. So now go back and try to do this one. There you go. There you go. We get a WAR file. That's it, right? We were picking the wrong one. Now, after you get this WAR, you technically go to the server that support the WAR. And then upload the WAR to that. It's going to, let's just try to see if they show you that. Yeah, like this is another one. You can build and you can deploy with the and yeah, and then put the WAR file name and do configuration, and that's how you deploy. So, all right. Like I said, WAR file will be sent to the remote Tomcat server. That means you have to set that server already. Like you rent the server, you set that server. But if you don't have a Tomcat instance stored on the remote server, you can pretty much just set up server like that. Okay, this is pretty much just a Unix server. Technically, this is DigitalOcean. Like, I mean, I have my host on pretty much DigitalOcean too. And then you pretty much just use create instance and follow that directions to set up your Tomcat. Oh, I have to verify that. I didn't have the phone with me. Okay, cannot log into that server. But I can SSH in. Oh, if I remember my IP. Like you can totally SSH in and install. Like you pretty much just need to get the server first. Not sure if I said it that name. Yeah, now I'm in. So I've technically just logged into my server to the git command console, so with the Unix command, and like start to follow that instruction to install the Tomcat. Right, how to install. You do sudo apt-get update, sudo apt-get install Tomcat. So first you just update the sudo apt-get apt-get command not found. So this is the Unix command. So now this is based on Debian, right? Debian sudo update. So actually, I'm using Ubuntu. This is Ubuntu. Sudo apt-get command not found. Okay, sudo user bin apt-get update. Let me do, I don't have to be sudo because I'm root. Okay, user bin apt-get update. So it looked like I don't have the apt-get at all. So I need to install install apt-get then. Let's see if I do app update. So this is all different issue, right? The Unix command issue. Apt-get should be a command to install on Ubuntu. Okay, when you install a new program. Apt-get Ubuntu command not found. Ask me to install which that should not be the one. App, but it doesn't work, right? Update bash apt-get not found. Caddy tem root cd usr cd bin. Let me try. Yeah, I cannot have apt-get, huh? Apt-get command not found. One second. Yeah, I'm on the server. All right. So, I mean, I don't want to keep you to see this one. Okay, I'll have to fix my server with the apt-get command first. Why it's not, yeah, recognize that. So technically, we need to install Tomcat, just like the way that I install on the Windows locally. But now I have to install on my server, right? So this is just an instruction to install Tomcat, like update the OS and then start to install the Tomcat. Okay, and then you just go to the IP, then like my server IP with the 8080. Then you have Tomcat. Okay, so and then you can start to install the Java development tools like the JDK, right? Like version of JDK that you want, 1.7, 1.8. Okay. And you also, it suggests to install Ant. Ant is a Apache build tool for the Java application. So you want to install that. And now you just need to configure your admin password for the web interface for Tomcat. Restart Tomcat. You type the URL. Then you're going to need to log in. Like when you log in, you can pretty much just see this like Tomcat Web Application Manager, where you can actually upload the WAR file right there, the one that you create. And then that's how you deploy. That's pretty much the instruction is right here, okay? But you have to get the server first. Like now I have the server, but I need to maybe reinstall my Ubuntu. I need to find out what happened to my command, okay? All right, so that's pretty much to answer how to deploy, right? Now, after you deploy, you can just type URL to that. Your web should be up and running. We can take a look at that next time. I'll figure that apt-get first. Okay. Now let's come back to like now it works locally, right? Then we can just start to create a code. Like this is just simple hello world, right? Now instead of hello world, you can start to add the form, right? So let me show you. I have the version that I already created, right? With the form. So instead of hello world, you technically can write this form, right? Form, pretty much just the code for creating the text field, right? Action called the another JSP response page, right? So I just going to pretty much just put the code right here, right? In your hello world JSP. So instead of hello world, we can just use the form. And then you create another JSP when you submit the form. It's going to talk to that, right? JSP, which I create a file name selfname.jsp. So we can just embed the Java code in there on a script tag, right? The code pretty much just a string name, a variable name that request.get parameter. Get parameter just get parameter from the f name. F name is a form name here, right? The tag for text input field. So I get a name, then we can just respond back with a message. Hey, hello, your name is, right? So that's very simple. So let's see. Now, instead of post, I just want to modify this. Then you can see the parameter is actually attached to the URL when you submit. So create new JSP, right? Save name dot, sorry, JSP. So we just embedded Java code in there in the scriptlet. Now let's start the server. Okay, we start the server. All right, so it's going to redeploy, and now we should be able to test on the web. Okay, so what I want you to look at is focus on the URL here. Okay, so you see like f name, right? So I'm going to say David again, submit. You see now when I do post, it's called f name is your parameters, just like we pass to the function or method in Java. You said parameter name as name equals value David, you pass in. That's why another page called savename.jsp when I do on action, it's just call this and respond with, right, request.get parameter f name, which is the whole value of the name, and return the value stored in there. Okay, so now next time we'll come back and show you how to host that. Okay, let me fix my server with a war. Okay, deploy.